rest in my own homeland, in my own homeland, enjoying the bright, the warm sunlight. Oh my God, what a beautiful sight, in my own homeland. This place is so nice, wanna do everything twice. Yes, I feel as if I'm in a paradise. No matter the season, you've got every reason. This place is another little heaven. East or west, I couldn't care less. Ooh, this place, it is definitely blessed. My own homeland, north or south.
Greetings, kings and queens. Welcome to another Real Stuff podcast. Today is Wednesday, and when it's Wednesdays, featured guests our Caribbean music legend. But today our featured guest is none other than Mr. Donovan Reid AKA DonReid, and he will be joining us this morning to talk about his musical journey, his career. Everything is going to be on the line. I got with me my co-host here with me this morning. I see Francine, Flavius, Courtney, Errol. So stick and stay, don't go nowhere unless you're going to get your tea, your coffee, or whatever beverage you consume this time of the morning. We'll be right back. Yes, indeed. Top of the morning, everyone. Top of the morning. Welcome to another Real Stuff podcast.
Morning. Bless up the morning, sir.
I want to sound dead this morning, man. Come on. It's supposed to be life full of life, man. I want to sound so dead.
Good morning. I'm here.
Good morning. Enter the queen.
All right, I want to sound much better. Me go to that one there, much better.
No, Francine, voice was heard and we all, got excited.
All right, so
like that.
So let me see if we can make Francine take the piece this morning. So Francine, top of the morning, and what's happening in your neck of the woods?
Good morning. I'm just here this morning tuning in. I'm going to try and turn camera on this morning, so just give me 1 minute and I'll be on camera soon. I'm feeling good this morning. I'm feeling happy.
Glad to hear that.
So far. Greetings to one and all.
Greetings.
Glad to hear that. At least you have some joy and some cheerfulness in your voice. You're not on the front line this morning. Anyway, let me get to Flavius. Flavius, what happened in your neck of the woods?
Well, a bleak morning, carry on from last night rain, and we are having serious water problems in my area. We have lots of water, but it's not very usable. Lots of mud. So they're working on it to get it back to normal. Hopefully, we should get proper water today. I am hoping.
All right. Keep hope alive. Errol, what's happening in your neck of the woods?
Well, it is shining here, no rain, and pretty quiet.
Recording in progress.
Where I am, and I wish Flavius well with his water issue. Just one item I want to bring up, just for consideration, in the national neck of the woods. The focus is put again on whether the government authorities should seek to regulate churches, religious institutions with respect to income tax. Well, not necessarily tax, but to let them do reports of their income expenditure like all organizations, because some of these churches are pulling in millions of dollars. Now, I'm not saying it should be done, nor it shouldn't be done. I'm saying based on the recent incident of the so-called cultist church organization, Montego Bay, which carried out some extraordinary action and
Activities.
activities, and the police is on it. The leader of the church is in custody, and other developments. This is one of the biggest talk in Jamaica today, and it has eclipsed all issues. And we hope, although we're going to have some fun this morning with DonReid, we will still have this issue in mind. What exactly is a church? What is a cult? And should organizations be regulated, religious organizations be regulated to be accountable? Thank you.
All right,
Franco.
all right. So, Courtney, what's happening in your neck of the woods, sir?
Well, in my neck of the woods, it's just 66 degrees and overcast, and but on a whole, it's a lovely day. I just, that Bill Withers song, just came to me this morning, and I wake up feeling, great. So I'm hoping to have a lovely day, listening to our guest, DonReid, and top of the morning to our listeners and viewers also, and I'm very expectant right now.
All right. I hope it's joyful, sir. I hope you have a joyful day as well.
Thank you.
All right, all right. Well, Don, we're going to keep you on the hot seat a little bit longer. We're not going to bring you in right now. We're going to keep you on the hot seat a little bit longer. And the reason being, is because I have been listening to some of your music yesterday, and there's one that really have me laughing. I've been laughing. So I'm going to play it, and then I'm going to bring you in by reading, a portion of your bio, which is also very interesting. So for all of you who are right now, if you have to go get your tea, just switch your camera off and run go grab your tea, because this morning it's going to be a musical roller coaster. All right? So let's dive right into it. This is the hilarious one.
No. With a nurse I go start about discharge. She better keep that. Me nah go nowhere. I'm pot a boy around a kitchen. Food up in yam. Father God, why they fight me so hard? Them a rush me fi go a me yard. Then I want me link up the cup on the ward. And I just 9 more dumpling me want. Dinner time now and then give me discharge. No, me nah take no discharge. Oh, pot fi a boil and then send me a me yard. Me nah got me yard. Oh, no, nah go on right to the hospital. Them a give me be a fight in a hospital. All the nurse they too bright. Run a hospital, down a hospital, in a hospital. The food nah share right. Down a hospital. The plate they too light. In a hospital. Oh, the cook they so tight. Down a hospital, down a hospital, in a hospital. Everybody knows say me a the food man. I saw me love nyam. I just saw me tan, them a share me in a plate, but me a me shed pan. From the butter boil, Jah know it take long, can't take the matron, but food a ration. And everywhere me look, salt, mackerel and yam. They no want me fi eat in a no occasion. Them no know me belly well long. Who no nah go on right down a hospital. Them a give me be a fight in a hospital. All the too bright down a hospital, down a hospital. Share right hospital. A plate ya too light in a hospital. Oh, the cook they so tight in a hospital, in a hospital, in a hospital. You know me just a sit down and a penny and a watch the kitchen. They pan in case like matlock. Me laugh me a study wagon, now them a share the chicken. Then think they can go around me. Read them up and realize I know nobody them. Them a try share me out and give them on a friend. Me big happy of them. Belly full of bench, big bunny, all of them. No, nah, go on right to a hospital. Them a give me pay a fight in a hospital. All the nurse they too bright in a hospital, to a hospital, in a hospital. The food nah share right to a hospital. The plate ya too light. Oh, the cook they so tight in a hospital, to a hospital, in a no. Hospital food ya rush. No. Man can't get up.
Yes, indeed. Donovan Reid AKA DonReid is a recording artist, musician, songwriter, comedian, actor, and bank manager. He was born in Kingston and raised in St. Anne, Jamaica by a total stranger to whom Don was given away by his biological mother at age 2. Through hard work and sheer desire to break out of his impoverishment situation, Don ascended through the ranks to the position of bank manager at Jamaica's largest bank, NCB, where he has been since 16 years old through straight after leaving high school. Don had a passion for arts from a very early age, singing and DJing at church and school functions, starring in major productions and writing his own stage songs in a songbook he kept. Throughout his banking career, the love for the arts remained close to his heart, and with the emergence of social media, started blogging and publishing his amateur musical recordings online, which piqued the interest of social media users, creating a host of loyal fans and followers. Today, the Real Stuff Podcast welcome Donovan Reid AKA. Top of the morning, Don. Welcome.
Top of the morning.
Welcome, Don.
Thank you. Top of the morning to everyone joining.
Okay, Don. Well,
and I'm pleasantly surprised because I'm seeing Francine, who I know very well. Not even realizing that it was a Francine that I know. So it's a
But myself is surprised. I can't believe this is done. I never know you were the guest this morning. So I'm surprised as well.
That's good. That's
Nice.
that is good. That is good. Hey, well, you have a familiar face with you this morning, so you won't feel like you're in a hot seat.
Right.
All right, the chair won't feel too hot.
I'm used to being in the hot seat. That's good.
All right. So what I'm going to do this morning, I'm going to ask my co-host to ask you questions. And then we're going, just chat. So before we chat, I want to find out from you, tell us something more about Don.
Well, DonReid, as you'd have heard, I'm someone who, yes, I'm a banker by profession. I've been in banking all my working life. But, on the flip side of it, I'm also an entertainer at heart. The love for the creative arts, not just musically, but literary writing, social commentary, acting, as you would have mentioned. So, that's the other side. That's the side that get me fired up. I always tell people banking is a profession, but the creative arts is my passion. So I ventured out. Very interestingly, I never did really anything musically on social media until 2017. And it's just so funny that, just the eve of Father's Day 2017, I put out one of my usual comedic posts and I said, Father's Day still a keep because I don't see any ads on TV for any brunch, nothing at all. And somebody who commented under the post, who I don't know the person, she don't know me. She don't know anything about music. She said, write a song, man. And I sat down the same time and write a song. So Ed Sheeran's, I wrote it as a parody of Ed Sheeran, Shape of You, which was popular at the time. And a combination of Aishana, Equal Rights, which she had actually done a cover of as well. So I did that song name, protesting. I said, warm to the fathers. We don't want to see special tone. I put that out and, just recording my phone. No voice training, not at all. No singing experience like that. Put it out, but it got thousands of views. And that is how it all started. So, so DonReid, I'm somebody who I don't take myself or anything seriously. I always find the humor and the positive in every situation. And I think that is one of the things that has kept me, being able to laugh at myself and being able to keep positive in spite of what is happening in, around, and to me.
All right,
So
all right. Well, I'm gonna hand the floor over to the rest of my co-hosts, and I'm gonna ask Francine to lead it off. Go ahead, Francine.
So as Don says, let me all tell you this morning, whatever is written in the bio, that's nothing compared to the real DonReid. I have had the opportunity to work with him, and he is simply amazing. This man funnier than I don't know what to tell you. Because number one, you don't know if he's putting out something on Facebook, you have to take time to wonder if is this for real or not. He makes some videos. Sometimes you wonder to yourself, was he actually at the place or not? This is him. He is super talented, and not because he's on the platform this morning, but I'm telling you, he's super talented. So, Mr. Reid, let me ask you.
Right.
I know that you are actually one of the bank managers for one of the leading banks in Jamaica. And I want to know, how do you separate being a bank manager from DonReid?
Well, that question comes up in every single interview that I've been, including one that I went last week, Monday, for an executive position with the bank. Right? You know, so I mean, in that interview, which kind of changed the brand structure, and I applied for an executive position. So in that interview, my top boss says, you know, I am okay. No, my only question is, I know you have passions and interests outside. You know, how are we gonna assure your commitment and stuff? So two things I'll just say. One, I've been with the bank NCB from 16-year-old, 4 feet 6 inches and 73 pounds. Right? I've gotten a little heavier, not much taller, but but my commitment and my track record as a banker is unquestionable. Right? And to NCB. So there is no question where that is concerned. How do I separate them? Simple. I am some years ago, I went on a self-discovery journey. And I discovered that I actually have two dominant personality traits. So on one side, the most dominant one actually, I mean, I'm going into sharing my personal stuff now, but the most dominant one actually is that driver, that person who has to be in charge, get things done, get results. That's at the forefront and the most dominant trait. Just below that now, the subdominant is that entertainer, that charismatic person who draws people to them. And I went on that discovery, that self-discovery, because what I realized is that first dominant trait people didn't like. People don't like to be driven and to be pushed. And even though you want results and you know you have to drive people, people don't gravitate well towards that. So while the charismatic side was pulling people towards me, that other side was pushing them away. And I couldn't understand why. So I would have this knack of drawing people to me, and then before you know it, we are at arm's length. So I went on that discovery. When I found out that, then I worked out how to get the charisma to draw them, but not push them so much. Just have it right there under the surface. So I'm still getting the results. I'm still getting things done, but I'm not losing them anymore. So
okay, go ahead.
So in terms of separating the banker from DonReid, so as a banker, I have now infused the charismatic side to lead my people, to how I deal with my staff, you know, to make sure that I have to be getting the results, but at the same time, I'm using that subdominant personality trait to keep them inspired, to keep them loyal to me and stuff. Now, I am able to separate it because when I come out of the banking environment and banking mode, I just slip into my the subdominant trait, which is just the creative arts, the charismatic. So I'm able to transition between the two just at the snap of a finger. So people see me online, and it's funny, you know, because not everybody is able to make the transition in their minds. So people see you in your banking attire and they're still in that mode. But when it's banking, it's banking. When it's creative arts, it's creative arts. So I'm able to switch between the two. It's not difficult. The concern would have been from other persons, especially persons who are from the conventional view that banking and entertainment is like oil and water. Can't mix the two. But the truth is it can be mixed, especially because of timing, because in terms of performances, I've never had a booking that is in the week or in the day. The booking has always been mostly on a Saturday night or on a Sunday night. So there's never a conflict in terms of performance. Songwriting So most of my creative juices flow in the dead of night, 2, 3 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning. You write a song. Going to studio and record it is maybe an hour. And after that, the engineer did the works behind the scenes. So in terms of time management and how I'm able to balance the two, it's not entirely difficult. I think one of the great advantages that I have is that I'm blessed with a capacity for work and output beyond the average person. I'm also a deep sleeper, so the rest that I get in 4 hours, the average person probably take 8 hours to get that rest. Once I lay down my head, I'm asleep right away. I get a very good rest, very deep sleep. So I'm able to have more hours in the day, so I can work on my banking and work on my creative arts at the same time.
But what I'm getting from this though, I'm almost in a similar position, but not with banking, but with the healthcare system. What I'm getting from you is that you actually don't separate. What you do, you separate the banking world from the entertainment world, but you actually use a bit of the entertainment world with charisma to tie into the banking, and you have a beautiful work method they're using.
Absolutely.
Sorry?
No, I'm saying absolutely. You're quite correct. Yeah. I want to share before. Sorry to interrupt you, Francine, but I want to share something. When I did that first video, I told you about the Father's Protest song, which incidentally, it's one of the songs being professionally recorded as we speak. Well, it's recorded already. Danny Brown and just have the finishing touches to do for my album. But when I did that song on my phone and put it out, and I did a follow-up song to that named Boss Big on my phone again on social media, thousands of views. I was in a little social gathering in Kingston, and one of the top executives, about 5 or 6 of us, and he said, "I've never heard of a singing banker, It's one or the other." And I tell you, I got so scared because this is my little job where me have the only thing I know from 16-year-old. So I never touch anything musically on social media for 1 year straight. Right. And I'm sure you're going to ask that question, so I'm not going to jump ahead. But I only started back when hospital food came about, which I will talk about because I'm sure you guys are going to ask me about.
Right. And it's so funny that Franco had played that song earlier, because I was saying, just as I come on screen, that's the song playing. Food in the hospital. Yeah. Now, you have written so many songs, and I've seen so many videos coming out from you. And believe you me, when it comes down to you uplifting persons, I remember I was at work one day, and there was a young lady. She was just laughing, and she was just laughing. And I turned to her and I said, "Why are you laughing like that?" And she said, "I follow that man here on social media all the time. And me just love him video, but me don't know if him serious or a joke. Me don't know, because in some of them so sick. Me don't know what to think. But look on that video here. Yeah. And when she showed it to me, it was you. I laughed like cried, and I was saying, "That's my friend." And she said, "You don't know him, man. Stop your foolishness. You don't know him. The man." She said, "Him great," and she was there going on and on and on. Yeah. So, what inspires you to actually write these songs? What inspires you? Is it a daily basic thing, or you just lie down and inspiration just come, or you use happenings in the surroundings? What inspires you?
Listen, I have never, as I tell people, there is not even one of my songs that I ever sit down or think and say, I want to write a song about this or that. Never ever. Oh, my mind works, something just busting in my mind. I'll be not even thinking about anything musically. I'll be just going about. I'll be on my job at the bank, and something just hit me in my head. Right. And an idea come and I just jump on it and just do it right away. Once something comes to me, I just jump on it. I don't delay. And it just happens like that. It's flow. Sometimes I am amazed by myself in terms of people ask me, how you come up with these things? Believe me, I don't even know. It just hit me, and I just do it like that. But, one of my obsession has been for many, many years. When I look and say, especially in this time now, when so many people, between early 2020 and now, so many people have died. And for many, many years, my obsession has been, there's a fire deep down in my gut. And I and people say I have suffered from delusions of grandeur, but I believe, especially when you look at my background and how my early childhood to know that I have been, my God-given purpose is to impact many, many people all over the world.
That's
I use
right.
to uplift, it maybe to uplift. And every day my prayer has been, God, I don't want to depart this earth and not live my purpose and my passion. And I say, Father, you direct me. And I know once you are directing me, I'll be covered. And so this is what it is. And I have no doubt that that basically based on, 2018 is when I put out Hospital with the first song. 2018 to now is hardly 3 years. And what I have done on the entertainment scene in 3 years is just many artists in the business for many, many years could only dream about it. I've been on media promotional tours across New York, Florida, Connecticut, New Jersey, right? I've been on every major media platform in Jamaica. I've been on some of the major events. It's only like some fest and Rebel Salute I don't reach it, and I was on the brink of those. I believe before COVID hit. I've been on Powerful Women and Men for Charity. Up to recently, even though we don't even know when the next staging, the chief director, who is the head of the Jamaica Broadcasting Commission, Cardell Green, reached out to me and said, boy, I see you're ready for the next Powerful Men and Women, I've been on TVJ profile. How many artists in the business can say they have been on TVJ profile?
That's true. That's true.
So I've been numerous newspaper articles in the Observer, the Gleaner, the Star, podcasts, you name it. So there's no doubt that when God has a purpose for you, He opens all the doors for you. And you mentioned about the entertainment, the banking. The truth is the banking has opened a lot of doors for me. Right. On the entertainment side. But it is not just being a banker, it's against my own merit as an entertainer as well, as a comedian, as a songwriter, as a musical artist. And similarly, what entertainment has done is open a whole new customer base for banking for me as well. Because I have walked into several media houses, and artist managers, artists themselves, and giving them banking facilities that they have never been able to access before, and they're amazed. So they're amazed at me as a banker, and they're amazed at me as an entertainer. So I'm thankful and grateful that the Father has blessed me with both that.
And you are blessed with so many talents, because remember now you're #1 dancer in Jamaica, I see some moves.
Yeah.
You are making.
Yeah.
And the skanking.
No.
Yeah. I'm going to allow my other members to go ahead and ask their questions. So I'll turn over to Errol.
Give thanks, Queen Francine. Good to see you. Respect,
Thank
Dan.
you.
Yes, I've seen snippets of you and you in various spaces. Nice to be in the same space on the Read Stuff podcast with you. I want to ask you about your influences, in addition to the way Francine asked, but I share a lot of the sentiments with you. Well, I'm very much older than you are. You're still a young man, have a lot of years ahead of you, and I wish you well. I worked for 23 years in a financial institution, and I recorded every day. I write songs, well, in the night mostly. I don't write songs from playing notes. I can't play any instruments. I don't know if you play, but I hear them in my head, and
Right.
I just feel them in my spirit, and I tell the musicians what I hear. So
Yeah.
that resonates with me and you. So okay, now your spiritual influence. And did your father influence you? And to what extent is spirituality, wherever you conceive spirituality, whether from a Christian or from the mindfulness aspect, of your father, did he influence you? And what is your source of spiritual influence?
All right. So I was given away by my biological mom at age 2.
Yes, I heard that, right.
Right. I was grown by a total stranger. I never saw my biological mom again until age 24. When she was buried approximately 6 years ago, I'd hardly spoken to her 10 times in life. So essentially never knew her. Never seen my father. I heard he died from 2001.
Wow.
Never knew any blood relative, cousin, auntie, grandmother, no one at all up to this day. Only blood relatives I knew is who I met at my mother's funeral, which I decided to go nonetheless, even though I was disaffectionate towards the whole. Because I mean, I never had that attachment. But that is when I was meeting half brothers and sisters who we don't have a relationship up to today. So I have been pretty much on my own with just my spiritual guide since 16 years old, when that old lady who took care of me died. She died when I was 17 actually. I joined the bank at 16, she died 1 year after, as if that was her divine purpose to see me up to that point. Right? So you asked about influence. I never had any family or parental influence at all whatsoever. You know, so I would spend, and I sent you a song, I Know Who I Am. That is my life story captured in one song. I actually did a short film about, with attached to that song, which is about 12 minutes. Which gives you a summary, basically some snippets of my life from childhood to now. I know who I am. So you know, so I have never, growing up as a child, I had no identity. I spent night after night crying myself to sleep. You know, wondering who I am. I can't see no blood. I don't know where I belong to. And then to make things worse, an old lady was growing me up. She had an adult daughter next door, who were, you know, middle-class family. Bauxite husband was a bauxite man and stuff, so they were pretty middle-class and stuff. But they were not as welcoming in terms of embracing me as part of them. And so, you know, I was with this lady, God bless her soul, Miss Louise, in our little one room, no bathroom, no kitchen, no running water, no electricity next door. When just next door, her extended family had all the works, the frills, color TV, you name it, you know. But guess it, and then, you know, they had children my age group who, you know, but guess what? When they were watching TV, I was in the market gathering up what we call cabbage bush. Because the lady who grew, Miss Louise, raised pigs. So I spend my weekends in the market from early as 3 o'clock in the morning. Finish sleeping on a top bench in the kitchen. She used to run the cook shop in the market. And then by 6, 7 o'clock, I'm gathering up the cabbage bush from when the vendors who sell cabbage, they take off the shredding, gather that up, barefooted everything, carry that to feed the pigs, you know. So that was my thing. I go bush, cook, you name it, beating that. I don't know if you know how they used to grind coffee back in the days. You have a
yes, man, I do it too. And peel ginger too.
Yeah, man. So I would
pick cocoa.
That's the task I hated the most because hours after hours, you have to sit here with that mortar, boom, the mortar stick. But guess what? Everybody asks me now, you work out? I'm not a gym person. I've never spent any extended time in the gym. But guess what? You see those early years of
building
mortar and the chopping of the wood and stuff built my physique. So the Father was using all of those things to my benefit at the end of the day, and it has also built my character. So in terms, listen, I'm a banker, yes, and I don't even tell people that I'm a banker, I'm a bank manager, because that's not who I am. Who I am is Donovan Reid, who has grown up with a character that is unshakable. There's hardly anything that can come at me, that can face me. And I have enough realism and reality in touch with my past to know that, listen, yeah, I'm a banker today, but if I have to go out on the road, I go sell or to survive. I'm gonna do it. I don't watch people. I don't care what people think about me. I'm gonna do what I need to do to get where I want to go.
Virgin, look here. I have so many things in common with you. I only remember my father's about 4, and that was it. So I really respect you, Virgin, and that's turn you over to the others. May I ask a personal question? Not too personal. Are you mixed with Indian extracts?
Yes. So my what the little I know, because remember now I really don't know any family history, but the little I see, my mom was mixed, and even her other kids, who were my half siblings, when I met them at the funeral, they were all, so they had more Indian extract than me. And I gather from the research I've done that my father's right name was Henriquez. Yeah, I mean,
money are coming up. Money, another name there. Watch out.
I'm in touch with this only brother now who lives in Florida, who I still haven't met. Even
Yes.
I've been in touch with him from the time of my mother's funeral.
Yes.
I tried to find my father. You know,
Yeah.
so we talk very regularly, but we still haven't met. So
Yeah, you
he-
know, I ask you about that because me Maria told the hair look nice. And see my
Yeah.
one here?
yeah,
I'm 70-year-old and we have hair same way. My grandmother was at Indian too. And
yeah, man. People
so we have
don't know me.
something.
People don't know. Well, ask me, why you putting your hair? You
You see it?
You cream your hair, you jerk, right? But no, man.
Part
it's
of you
all
live with your
natural.
man, part of your empowerment. So finally, as I go, well,
Right.
not going, but you know, just to leave others.
Yes.
What I've taken from you, Bridget, is that
Yes.
the hard knocks of life,
Right.
the problems, the twists and turns, have made you into an awesome young man, destined for more greatness because you are
Right.
great already. So I
Right.
bless you, and I'm very happy to be in this space with you. And I'm jealous that Francine know you and I don't know you, but one of these days.
You know me now, man. You know
Yes,
me now.
man, but you know when I know you can look and bump you and say, Virgin, what go down?
Yeah,
But give
yeah.
thanks, man. Thank you, Francine.
But
Bless you.
Errol, all this time I thought he was using some form of chemical in him ear, and I never knew
To conk his ear. Flavors, we know about the conk. When Percy
Yeah.
Sledge, man, them used to conk here and them guys here. No, man,
Yeah.
you can see say that's strong mixed with the black and the Indian thing.
Now
Yeah.
that I'm looking at it very closely.
You know, I see it before. Don't you make me see it as a man from so far.
Yeah.
Yes, respect. Thank you, Dan.
Yeah, man.
So we're going to hear any more music this morning, or are copyright issues involved, Franco?
I'm dropping one right now.
Wow, I see flavors are stand by the
Them say if you don't know where you're coming from, you'll never know where you're going. Oh yes. So never you despise humble beginnings. Na 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 na. Poverty was my stomping ground. Rejection have me like a camera. Never have a smile, always a frown. I know who I am and where I'm coming from. Father God, make me strong. I know who I am and where I'm going. Please, Father God, hold my hand and know where I've been. I don't regret it, cause my struggles make me strong. I know who I am and where I'm coming from. Poverty was my reality. Rejection a part of my history. Never seen no papa, never know me mommy. Never have no love, no have no family. All my life, I was a refugee. Thank you, Miss Louisa, you rescue me from the intimidation of the community. Them no want me around here. Them would I rather see me disappear. But I God alone me fear. He'll never give me more than I can bear. I know who I am.
Yes, we're going to hand the microphone over now to Flavius. Flavius, unmute your mic, please, and go ahead. Are you hearing me?
Are you hearing me now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Don, where did you grow up?
I grew up in Claremont, St. Anne.
Oh, Claremont. Yeah, I know Claremont, yeah.
Yeah, man. We
Right
call
near
it
Money.
Claremont. Yeah, the name we call it. We come from. We say Claremont, but the correct pronunciation is Claremont.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I know that area well. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. But you know, your journey is a serious journey, and what I'm seeing, you know, that you are a person, you know, what I call stick-to-itiveness. You know, you stick to what you're doing,
Yeah.
and that is very, very, you know, I can really appreciate that. That is wonderful. But with all this going on,
Yes.
how did music come to you?
All right. So from I've known myself, I've been musically inclined. When I was growing up as a small child, one of the things that I'm also blessed with is a photographic memory. I remember every single image, every single happening in my life from 2 years old since now. All in my head. In fact, I'm supposed to be writing a book about my life from 2 years to now, and trust me, I haven't written down anything because it's all right here. And I have the images. I can just rewind and go back to any particular time and play back that scene in my life. So music, yeah, so music from an early age, I always like singing, dancing, performing. When I was going to all age, cause we never primary school was for the privileged kids in my days. All age we went, Claremont all age. The popular songs at the time, I could DJ them song for song. In fact, I used to DJ them better than the artists themselves. And then where they must spoil up the song, right? And then when I went to Franco High School now, which is all of these schools are in Claremont, which I used to walk to incidentally. You know, I started to keep a songbook, write down. I used to write my own songs. And the first song I sung was a song I called Love, Love, Love. You know, and then we used to write a song called Ragamuffin My Selector. No Ragam. And then me hear it very popular on the radio. One day, then people know me or what. Then we used to sing Donovan. Then literally later me hear that on the radio too. Tiger. So I say, wait. I wonder if somebody listen to me and how them people get my lyrics. But that was my first in terms of music, but in terms of professional recording music. So it was a life incident that triggered that. I told you that I didn't touch anything musically after I got that. So very explicit warning from my senior executive. And and for want of to protect my little job, bread and butter. Anyway, I'd gotten transferred to serve as a branch manager, one of the larger branches. When I was down there, because I was staying in Negril, and I brought my kids down there for a week during the summer. We did all the water sports and stuff. But I have a condition that if overexposure to cold water, I have to go to the hospital. I have to be hospitalized for pain treatment. You know, it is, I'm a sickler really, but not a full-blown sickler, just the trait. So if overexposure to very cold water will trigger painful episodes. So I have to be hospitalized to get dangerous narcotics to get rid of the pain. Anyway, so I was hospitalized. I brought them back to St. Dan, where I live. And as I reached and I sat down, I started to have the painful episode. Called my doctor here, come and examine me. I said, no man, we have to admit you right away. So while I was in the hospital now, I was posting my little comedy things. You know, nobody don't like hospital food. When people in hospital, they want to read through hospital food is the worst tasting food. But of course, I have to put my spin on it. So I said, boy, this is full of corruption. Because the patient next to me, I give more food than me all the while. So for breakfast, they give 2 finger banana and 3 dumplings. You only get 1 finger banana and 1 dumpling. For dinner, them give breast lunch, breast wing and time. You only get breast and wing. So I post that I go complain to the nurse, and the nurse out of spite, a wicked nurse should discharge with the next day, just before dinner served. And they never had a good reason to discharge me. The only reason they could tell me for discharge me is that I got better. But that is no reason to discharge me if they're going to serve. And it was pork them serve in the evening and a stew pork, And I'm saying, so I went and complained. I called Cliff Hughes. Cliff Hughes said, boy, him can't do anything about it. I went to Indicom says it's not a police matter. Right? I went to Mocha. I went to Mocha says it's not a financial crime. So the only thing I leave to do is I go write a song about it, And I wrote the song Hospital Food. But it wasn't in that format. It was a parody again of the popular song at the time about Father God, I want to find me so hard. And I record that with a big pot in my living room on my phone. No, remember I got the warning on my friend, and when I say, what? Me not watch no face. Me just do my thing and make the chips fall where they live. The bank go fire me, boy, they have to fire me. But me pray about it and I say, God, me write the song and put it out. And when I wrote that song in that off-key amateur record on my phone in my living room got 147,000 views. And so Danny Brownie, who I knew from church, Danny Brownie is one of the veteran producers. I knew him from Solofield, where I'm a member when I was living in Kingston. But Danny, I used to live not far from Danny. He lived up in Chergarden. I used to live at Barbecue, the foot of Russell Heights there, Hibiscus Drive. And we have what we call a care group, where the church members gather in small groups during the week at one of the care leaders' homes. So I used to go to his home up the hill of Russell Heights, and that's how I knew him. So I called Danny. And I said, Danny, look at this. Look at this song I'm doing, and Punjab, make me do something now. And Danny is a purist, Danny is if you're not a pure musician and vocalist, he run you. He don't have nothing to do with you. So me had to literally beg him. I said, Danny, make a record it, man. As a matter of fact, when I wrote the other 2 songs, I said them to him and say, he can him just ignore me, not even respond to it. So when him said this, Danny, look at the views and I convince him. And when we went down, we sit down and we strip back down the song, rewrote the lyrics, repackage it, and that's how Hospital Food came about. When it was released, before I know it, well, before even it was released, so I was on social media promoting that boy, Hospital Food. I even put in some little teasers with me and him in the studio recording, writing and recording the song. Now, NCB has an executive meeting. We used to have a big sales convention in October every year at the start of a financial year. That is all the sales team in the branches of 400 odd, all the managers, all the executive. Only Mr. Leaching normally is not a part, and sometimes he would come. But at that meeting in 2018, it was, I was one of the MCs for the program, for the day. And one of the top executive in the bank, Mr. Hilton, Mr. Patrick Hilton, Mr. Coyne. Mr. Coyne is second to Mr. Hilton. Somebody went and snitched to him that I was about to release song. So he come to me at breakfast and say, because he's somebody that always looked out for me. He knew my banking abilities, and he always supported me. And he said, somebody tell me that you're about to release a song. Maybe you should consider leaving the bank. And I said to him, I looked him straight in the eye, not even thought about it. And I said, Dennis, I am not going to go to my grave with my talents unused. And him started to even, it was a lost for it. Him just said, well, I guess if you're multi-talented, you have to use it. And the organizer, which was another executive, who I didn't know was following me online, I was one of my biggest fans, was playing all my music a year later. God rest his soul, he died last year. You know, and he said, I wanted to perform Hospital Food for us. I said, I've never performed musically, professionally in front of, especially such a big crowd. Mr. Hilton there, the people that want about the music. But you know what? I said, listen, it's go hard or done, you know. Mm-hmm. And when I grabbed that mic, trust me, you know, I have key, I have no experience with music. I know I have key everything. In fact, so much I think it was a bad performance. I can't even watch it back now. Right? But guess what? It connected. Everybody love it. The people love it. I saw Mr. Coyne whisper something to Mr. Hilton. Up to this day, I don't know what to whisper to him. but I went hard. And then an executive in charge of marketing when I were leaving the meeting, she said to me, you need to do a video for it, man. And that was all I needed to hear. So I wrote the bank the Monday morning and asked them for official approval to record music professionally as a second career. And it went there for many weeks. It went up to Mr. Hilton, and I got it back eventually, and it was approved. So wow. with the owner rider, that if it reach a stage where it starts to conflict with your job, then you have to make a decision, which is reasonable. You know. So that is how I started out. When that song was released, before I know it, I was on RGR Roadshow performing it with 2 live crew. I was on TVJ Smile Jamaica. The head of Jamaica Broadcast Commission saw the song and invited me to be a part of Powerful Men and Women for Charity. I followed up that with a song called Quartz. It's a parody of Coffee. You have it there. Coffee's Toast at the time, which was a mega hit, but I did Quartz. And you know, that song, I was just in my same room where I'm here one Sunday evening. And you know, I listen to us. And something just come to me and say, me I hide from Quartz. Yeah, and then and again, I used to do my thing, which I'm not doing anymore. But I wrote, sit down and just write the song right away. It was flying on my head. Within minutes, that song was written. I just recorded the same night. In fact, when I was recording it on my phone, I didn't even know the lyrics. If you look at that old video carefully, I was actually peeping at the paper while I was singing it. And that song went mega in terms of the views. Run to Danny again. Record it, and that was my biggest hit to date. Millions of views on different social media pages, reposted everything, and I did the official video for that as well, which also got millions of views.
You don't mind us dropping it. We're gonna drop it for
big deal.
Yeah. All right.
Me can't ball in a life, man. Them gone with it, gone with it.
You big TV? Are you kidding me?
Courts, yeah. Say them a come in a me house, yeah. Bailiff come in with a force, me a be careful. Me a hide from courts. Yeah, me give thanks for the TV me trust. Me no pay $6 months, me supposed to me thankful. Blessings all in a me life, man. Me thank God for the TV, the free gift I just for the plus, yeah. Flat screen is a must, yeah. Blessings fall on the right man. Bust a toast for the things when me trust down a court. When the bailiff a come, send me bolt up the door and me go on like me gone down a road. No inform, but you know me try a thing. So me go a quotes and me do the higher thing. About 6 months now, me no pay a thing. Now pa me phone see the bailiff in my ring. But hello yo, so from time me shout saw your post a spectacular photo with the people TV up in your house. A 6 months you overcoat, say me for shout. You can't go on in a life, man. Me give thanks for the TV, the free gift I just for the plus, yeah. Flat screen is a must, yeah. Blessings fall on the right man. Bust a toast for the things when me trust down a quote. When the bailiff a come, say me bolt up the door and me go on like me gone down a road. Just shower blessings upon me and send me big TV. Just shower blessings upon me. That's why I'm giving me the flat screen. Bailiff a fight it. Now make him come and find it. Force on me move and hide it. I pick me a station. Blessings all for me life, man. Say me give thanks for the TV, the free gift I just for the plus, yeah. Flat screen is a must, yeah. Blessings fall on the right man. Bust a toast for the things when me trust down a quote. When the bailiff a come, say me bolt up the door and me go on like me gone down a road. Quotes, yeah. Quotes, yeah. Say me a hide from quotes. Yeah, me give thanks.
Yes, indeed. This one a bomb. A boom. All right. Courtney, you next.
Skidango boom.
What court say? Them give a little thing so we can get a thing out of it.
Alright, courts are the, I understand courts are the massive meeting about the song.
I can imagine.
I figured
Big
that.
executive meeting, and they came to the conclusion that the song was negative.
Yes, people, yes, I figured that, yes. But
so they didn't want to have they didn't want to have any endorsement with me. They just wanted the song to die.
But you can't do it.
You can't do it. Because of the today people playing it.
Guess what? I'm going to tell you this.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say it, but I'm going to name the name. But the person who deal with the finance, I'm a friend. I'm kind of know. So
okay.
I go ask her. Say, I go down.
Yeah, man. I think what happened, it didn't reach the right person at courts. The person who it reached who wasn't seeing the vision, because it's a very simple thing. The song. Listen, this song, when I went to New York on the media promotional tour, when I came out of John F. Kennedy, it was the first time I'm going to New York. As I come out of the airport, as I walk out of the airport to the vehicle that came for me, about 5 taximen run across the road. Taximen. I say, when him come, one of them come and shout back to him friend, them, him, man, him. So I say, him. I said, like you did the court song, man. So
no, sir.
By the time before I reach New York, the song bust over there already, and
big deal.
There's a courts in New York as well, which I didn't even know, and also a courts in Fort Lauderdale. So this song resonated with so many people.
All right, hear me now.
North America and around the Caribbean.
Courts clients and the run, man.
Hold on, sorry to cut into your thing. You're not gonna say.
Yeah.
You don't have to run from courts. We'll give them that and say, look,
simple.
it.
Yeah.
Use it and big up the thing. So let's see what happens.
All mother cheat it and say no. Me stop hide from court.
You know, right. You don't have to run from court.
Yeah.
You see it. Big deal. I'm going to make a call and see what go down.
Flat screen is a must.
Flat screen is a must.
Especially when Christmas come up and now. Big deal, yo.
Exactly.
Man. Look, man, you're the real deal, Virgin. I mean, like the humble spirit, the confidence and humble spirit are that's a winning combination.
Yes.
Big
and
deal.
you know what's amazing? I heard him perform the hospital food at a hospital function.
Okay then.
Man, you can just imagine.
Yeah.
With pure nurses and doctors, and this man come up here and tell us, say, them robbing my food at the hospital. That was just simply amazing. Dan, it was a pleasure for me this morning to be here with you. You have shown the entire world how talented you are. And as Errol said earlier, you still maintain this humble mentality. And it's not a lot of persons who actually touch the world like you have and still remain humble. Because you're doing it on either side. And whatever you're doing on both sides, you are doing it well. And you know what? It's because you have the peace of God within you. I think that's the makes a difference, that you are still able to hold on to that humility. I'm so happy to see you on this podcast this morning. I didn't even know who it was, but I just come on and I realized that you were on it. And believe you me, you made my day this morning. Well, you made my day this morning, whichever way it will work out. But it was just a pleasure. And for the persons who are listening, I know that they are excited to hear you. And I'd love for you to do, maybe, I know the time is far spent, but if you could just do something, one of your latest ones right now. You don't have to do all of it, but just freestyle right now, if you may.
Yeah, man.
Before you do that, I'm going to send a voice note to the person I tell you about right now. Okay, but I'm going to make you hear me say.
Yeah. Well, early on point.
Oh, you mean if you would come forward and it's a big deal and we can help bust him further, as long as he give us a little money, when you get the money, get us. Remember the Real Stuff podcast? Yes.
Yeah, man, that is a done deal, man.
All right, so I'm going to send a voice note now to somebody.
Yeah.
Skidango boom.
Of course.
All right, Dan, go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, 1 second. I tried to do a little bit better than that. Just give me 1 second, yeah?
No problem.
A-C-E-G-B-F-D, still don't know my ABC. J-I-K-H-M-L-N-O-V, English language come from at me. Yes, now, Spanish down, English class, make no for them are from.
You ready?
All right, so that is that track there is not released yet. That is from the album, one of the four. Danny Brown have 4 songs that I recorded him to finish up the album. So that one I just got it, not released yet, because I just released. This one I'm going to do now was just released last week. It's already on, if you listen, Ira FM, Mellow FM. And that's sure Bambino have it, and that's where he's playing it. But just released. It's a song talking about 2020. It's a parody of Rogers still. So I'm going to do that now. I just downloaded the track so I can do it along with the track. So here we go, freestyle thing, right? I hopefully you can hear it well. All right, 1 second. I'm just trying to bring up at this. All right, tell me, are you hearing it? You're hearing it, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So 2020 was one heck of a year. Yeah. In the bar in Ocho Rios, across from the depot, on the bar stool sipping white rum and ting. I was anything but sober. 2019 was over. I said 2020's my year. Must be jinx, must be obier, but things got more bitter. I couldn't believe what I'm seeing. You took Kenny Rogers, Kobe, and Black Panther, and after whatever 2021 brings. Earthquake and fire, hurricane and flood waters, you brought them and mashed down the place. You came to my woman and took her from beside me, said social distance 6 feet space. And now my hands calloused from all that stroking. For a minute I thought it was dead. My knees started shaking, my manhood was breaking. 2020, you shut down my bed. I never forget 2020. Gave me homeschooling children and COVID-19. You box me with bad times, slap me with sad times. Then I got a juke with vaccine. I never forget 2020. I was so glad when you left us. I had me some whiskey and thought how you made me look small. From lockdowns to curfews, I lost all my virtues. Speed limits meant nothing at all. Speed traps were plenty, I couldn't stop at any. Drove so fast I'd never make bail. Had to get home before lockdown, so I couldn't slow down. Spend bribes not to end up in jail. I never forget 2020. Gave me homeschooling children and COVID-19. You box me with bad times, slap me with sad times. Then I got a juke with vaccine. I never forget 2020. If you remember it, you can sing along, you know. Never forget 2020. It gave me homeschooling children and COVID-19. You box me with bad times, slap me with sad times. Then I got a juke with vaccine. I never forget 2020. Never ever. I never forget 2020. I never will forget 2020. Yeah.
No, sir. Hey, listen to me. Dan, hold on. Let me dominate. Dan,
Yeah.
have a song named New Wine.
Yeah.
I recorded a song in a reggae country.
Right.
And I want to number to send it to you. And
Yes.
I will beg you to just say something on it for me. Or
All
take
right.
it and do it and make we do a thing with it.
Yeah, man, no problem,
You
man.
are
No
a
problem.
big deal, you.
Yeah.
You're the real deal, you know. You see,
Yeah,
my people
man.
run up and down in the chat food and say, I cannot foolish this.
Yeah.
You are the big deal for the Real Stuff podcast.
Yeah, man.
All right. So, guess what? The person answer me, you know.
Yeah.
Person answer me. So,
Okay.
I go follow it up.
Yeah, man. Thanks. Much respect for that.
You have a time, man. So, what I'm going to do, you know, I'm going to suggest that you get my phone and or you give me a voice clip after you could
Right.
touch that. I may say, hear this. You were the person who willing to do for you. Can
Right.
work something out.
Yeah, man. Simple twist. That's a
Simple twist.
in
Simple
Ford's favor.
twist. You're a genius, youth. Einstein,
Yeah,
you
man.
have nothing over your youth.
Yeah, man.
Blessed love. Thanks.
Skidango boom.
It's an expression up to par.
I want to acknowledge Chef Sinclair.
Errol.
He's in the
Let
building.
him say something.
And so I'm gonna open the mic for Chef Sinclair.
Yes.
Top of the morning, Chef.
Top of the morning, Franco.
All right, welcome.
Mr. Reid.
Dress up yourself, my good customer and friend.
Oh, are you behind him with the money?
Yes, man.
I
Yes.
see. No, I understand.
Now you come. No, well, ladies and gentlemen, and the pan, let me tell you, whenever I see talent, and I spot him long time, and I spot Mr. Reid a long time. And what I'm surprised about now that you mean I spot Francine long time. I never know that connection. Yes. But Mr. Reid, I'm very proud of you, sir.
Bless up. Thank you,
A
man.
real example. I can tell you, youngsters need to emulate you and learn from you. You're real, and where you're coming from. I saw my father the last time when I was 7, and he said, bye-bye, I gone. So I'm a little better than you, at least I saw my father. But these are the people who have come out successful are the people who start out rough.
Yeah.
Right. So for that reason, when even in your career now, when people come to you with rough beginnings, you have the ability for see where they're going and almost can judge if there is success, because you have lived it. Congratulations. I'm really happy that you're in St. Mary. Right?
St. Mary may come from.
Yes.
Oh.
Well,
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So over to you, Franco. That's my bank and friend.
Yes, bless up yourself, Sir Errol Sinclair. And I need to visit you. I mean, I enjoyed myself at Tapioca, so I need to come back there soon.
Yeah.
Look here, Franco said we're going to have a meeting there when this thing clear up, you know.
Boy, that, we don't have to wait till it clear up. You're allowed to get up to 50, you know.
Well, my wife afraid of COVID bad, you know, and she Francis, yeah. She afraid of it too. So, but we are say, have to go to Tapioca because the menu when me see on Thursday mornings and they mix up innovations from Errol, my namesake Sinclair. I have to go to Tapioca Village.
Yeah, man, that's a paradise, man. I spent pretty much a whole day on the river until it was awesome.
What you say?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Oh, you're going so ordinary than Errol and it's a big thing.
I don't want Dan start behave that way. Because I don't really want to go in on my bragging rights. So I don't really want to go there, you know. Me just a year day, Dan. Just do it. Just do your thing.
All right, cool. Don't hold it. Go on, hold it.
A pleasure this morning. It's really a pleasure. And a matter of fact, what inspired me now, and I have to say it right here, that the Jamaica Forest Club, of which I'm a part, and then I'm going to also put on spot on this podcast. I did that with Courtney. That the forest has the ability, the capacity, and the whole framework to promote more what you do. You mean the public speaking side, the poetry side, the performing side. What I would want to see the forest doing is making songs around the crops, the lifestyle.
Absolutely.
The positive lifestyle that you are portraying.
Yeah.
And I noticed Mr. Bean was really nodding while you were
inspired, man.
Yeah, well you write up my street, you know, Sir Sinclair, because I do ads and jingles as well. I do ads for businesses in New York. I've done ads for businesses in New York. And I got quite other few. So I do that thing sort as well. And I mean, I can't give from the jingle to the video because I also do my own video production.
I realize that. I wanted to ask who with some masterful behind all of those.
I do every single thing because when I just with hospital food and courts and I know who I am and taxi driver, those are professionally done videos by a professional videographer from agency, but they cost quite a bit. Yeah. And when you just start out in music, unless you have that big investment, you have to find innovative ways to keep down your costs. And so for what I'm doing, I invested in the technology and stuff. So I learned the trade. And so I do my own video. Everything you see I put out now is me do it from start to finish.
Yeah. And might I just say, you mean your example again to what COVID has brought about. There were somewhat dedicated people and in high positions who could not pivot.
Right.
They were so mindset in one direction. Right. You're so multi-talented.
Yeah.
Very. Congratulations.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Yes.
Very. I think it was just last week I said to him, he inspires me. When I look at it, his videos and what him coming out with, and if you're having a sad day, because that particular day, he sent something with they were putting him out of a church, and I laughed that day. And funny it is that it was the same day. It was the same day when I was unable to come on the podcast because there was so many deaths happening around me, and I was so depressed and down. And when he sent me the video, I laughed that day until it was not even funny. I even when I went to bed, I was still laughing. And I'm saying to myself, the whole idea of putting out these things is to actually uplift person's spirit. To others, it may seem like a waste of time, because there are persons who will. Then this, imagine, this didn't take him time, but you never know who you will actually touch, who will you will actually impact. And believe you me, not because you're here this morning,
Right.
believe you me, you have impacted my life in such a positive way. And I want to tell you thanks publicly.
I'm happy to hear that.
Thank you very much.
Listen, I was amazed from as people send a message all the while on social media. One lady said, since I started watching videos, I don't have to take my blood pressure pill anymore. Right? The head of Scotia Bank in Jamaica right now, a lady named Audrey Tugwell Henry. She used to be the head of our banking division at NCB before she went over to Scotia. And one day she let me know, Don, I follow you, And so and then I started to realize, even in corporate Jamaica, at very high levels, the amount of persons that were following what I'm doing and give from it. So a lot of times what you're doing might feel like foolishness. You might, might wonder what people think of you. But listen, the people are visionaries and make lasting impacts on generations and the world. It's always seem crazy to others and even themselves.
I'm one of them.
And so with that, we're gonna end this morning podcast.
Right.
Dan, thank you very much for coming. Thank all of you guys for participating. I'm gonna ask, since Francine has been so uplifted, I'm gonna ask her to do the summary. So you have 1 minute to do a summary of this morning podcast for us. So go ahead.
As usual, the podcast tends to highlight persons or we interact with persons who actually make a difference, even if it's for one person. And then you have touched so many lives. And for the persons who are viewing, for the persons who are actually present on the podcast, I want to say thank you. This morning has been an amazing one with a difference. And of course, the person who we are interviewing this morning is just simply amazing. It was a pleasure. As usual, we want to thank you on behalf of myself and the entire crew. We want to say thank you so much for being a part of this podcast. And I'm happy to know that you are definitely going to come back bigger and better. And the next time, because we know it, because by next year, you're going to be, not even by next year, by maybe the end of the year, you're going to be a billionaire. So you must remember the podcast.
Yes.
Remember
I
us,
agree.
please, sir.
I'll never
I
forget.
can't even set the smaller version of the persons, because I'm pretty sure we're all taller than you. But at the end of the day, we are happy and we are grateful to have you. Mr. Sinclair, thank you so much for highlighting and spotting good talents. You have a notch for that. So once again, thank you everyone for being here today. For all the persons viewing, thank you for viewing. That's it. Over and out.
All right. Thank you very much, Dan, again for coming. And we want to, wish you all the best as you, move forward in all of your careers. All right. So
Thank you very much, and thank you for having me.
the pleasure is ours. So for all my viewers also in the YouTube chat room, we thank you for taking time out this morning and for being here with us. As you know, our special guest this morning, none other than Donovan Reid AKA DonReid. So please remember to subscribe, like, and share the video. The object of this channel is to educate you and entertain you as well. And remember, this is your Caribbean podcast, the Real Stuff Podcast. Live and love every moment of your life and be grateful for each new day. Cherish your friends and your family. Bless others and keep the faith. Never lose hope, and remember, prayer changes things. Regardless of what religion you belong to, you must pray and continue to pray. So on behalf of my podcasting team, Francine, Maxonette, Flavius, Courtney, Errol, and myself, have a joyful morning, a joyful afternoon, a joyful evening, depending on your time zone. And remember that we are always on 5 days a week, Monday to Friday. And tomorrow we do it all over again with Don in London and Cook and Curry with none other than Chef Sinclair out of Tapioca. So I'm going to ask Tafina to take us out of here.
Well, unfortunately, this is it. Till next time. Bless.
All you gotta do is just speak. One word is enough, and I'm no longer so rough. I forget what I was trying to say. I no longer do what I was gonna do, but you're no good for me. That's why me was send me if it could flee. Me if you take away me say.
Well, unfortunately, this is it. Till next time. Bless.